Well, that space game there looks like a thrill a minute. Why not try a real blast? Laser Blast by Activision, a new breed of game cartridge for your Atari video computer system.
In the opening volley of the console wars, the Atari2600 emerged as a force to be reckoned with. But all too often, the 2600 used its powers for evil. These are the games that joined E.T. on his long journey down the road of total suck. Pac-Man is one of the great mainstays of gaming. Simple, compelling, and completely effed up on the Atari. I can't explain why somebody felt the need to screw with the maze design or remove Pac-Man's ability to look up. Donkey Kong Jr. was a follow-up to the popular Donkey Kong arcade game. It has the distinct honor of starring the worst monkey in the history of gaming. Donkey Kong Jr. could barely run, climb, and jump. He couldn't even throw feces. The worst monkey in history was followed swiftly by the worst martial artists in history. Karate is an epic fighter where you pit a green guy against a purple guy. As a bonus to the unresponsive gameplay, every kick and punch sounds like an electronic fart. Sword Quest was one big, huh? Okay, starting on my quest. Let's see, I'll need this upside-down cross, this chastity belt. I think I need to talk to this midget. Enough of this. I'm gonna go play Crawl. Now there was a game. All right, horses running, horses running. No, let's turn around. Okay, here's a spider and I'm climbing. Yay! I made it to the top. How come the spider came back? This one doesn't make any sense either. How do I win? I wanna go home. Crawl may be a crappy game based on a crappy movie, but at least it never pissed off women or Native American tribes or all gamers in general. That's right, I'm talking about Custer's Revenge. Apparently, the only way Custer can get his revenge is to run naked across the desert and get it on with a tied-up Native American lady. Way to make amends for past sins, guys. Custer and his ilk are gone now, their terrible graphics and absurd gameplay whisked away by the Atari 2600's fleeting shelf life. I think I speak for everyone when I say, thank you, Atari 2600, for the games we'll always remember, the games we can't unplay, the games we can't forget, even when we gouge out our own eyes.
The time, 1983. The place, this great country, America. Life was simple back then. A boy and his alien could share a room without the DA pressing charges and waving teddy bears around. The Atari 2600 ruled the gaming market, as depicted here on this cave wall. Atari gave lead programmer Warshaw less than 2 months to create this monstrosity. Warshaw did what any programmer would do. He sold his soul to the devil. E.T. for the 2600 is loosely based on the movie, like Reaganomics is loosely based on math. This lost alien must assemble the pieces of a phone to reach out and touch his mothership. Originally, the game would have had Et chased down by a doctor and an FBI agent. Here comes the agent, now the doctor, FBI, doctor, now no one, and the doctor captures Et. Atari went a step further and spent an additional $5 and 3 chickens on its most controversial design project, the pit. As seen here in these pictures, pits are loosely scattered around 4 of the 6 boards making up the Et world. You fall into the pit, you float out, you fall into the pit again, and out, and in, and out. E.T. begins the game with 9,999 points of life. Every step takes 1 point. Activating a zone costs 19 points. Falling into a pit takes 269 points. Getting out of said pit takes 100 points. Eating the candy he gives you, 341 points. Elliot resurrects you with 1,500 points. Being able to trade guns for hostages and hiding all the evidence, priceless. But this would not be the only transgression in the game. After the first level, the game switched to an incomplete version of Pong, the first mini-game. The first ever in-game cutscene lasted 20 minutes. But what of the children, the tens of fives of children who played this game? After the 45th pit, little Laura was found with a bloody spoon in one hand and her eyeball in her mouth. To protect our future, something had to be done. Ironically, the pit which tortured players would be E.T.'s own resting place. Over 1 million copies of the game, more than the number of actual Ataris, lay at the bottom of their own gaming graveyard. For its lack of graphics, no save, no online play, no sense, no story, we give E.T. for the 2600 a 0 out of 5. Rest in peace, kind friend. Know that we will never push out another movie-based game just to make a quick buck.